Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we will discuss about the scenario based MCQ for the NORCET 9 mains. Let's start. First question. A 55-year-old man with cirrhosis develops ascites. The nurse is preparing for the pancreatitis. Which nursing action is most appropriate before the procedure? Option A. Ask the patient to drink water before the procedure. Option B. Place the patient in the high Fowler position. Option C. Instruct the patient to void completely. Option D. Keep the patient in PO for the 12 hours. The answer is option C. Instruct the patient to void completely, because voiding prevents the accidental bladder injury during the paracentesis. So we have to instruct the patient to void completely. Next. A patient with COPD is on oxygen at 2 liters per minute via nasal cannula. The family requests to increase the flow because the patient appears short of breath. What is the best nursing response? Option A. Increase the flow to 4 liters per minute. Keep the oxygen as prescribed and use pursed lip breathing. Option C. Switch to an non-elevator mask. Option D. Discontinue oxygen temporarily. The answer is option B. Keep the oxygen as prescribed and use the pursed lip breathing, because high flow oxygen can suppress the respiratory drive in the COPD patient. So we cannot increase the flow rate of the 4 liters per minute. Switch on the non-inhibitor mask. No, non-inhibitor masks deliver the 95 to 100% of oxygen. So we can't switch the non-inhibitor masks. Discontinue oxygen temporarily. No, if we are discontinuing, then the patient will be decrease, the patient oxygen level will be decreased. So we can't discontinue the oxygen. Next. A patient with suspected spinal cord injury after a road traffic accident is being transported. Which position is the safest? Option A. High Fowler position with knee flexed. Option B. Prone with head to side. Option C. Supine with neck immobilized. Option D. Semi-Fowlers with the pillows. The answer is option C. Supine with the neck immobilized, because in the spinal immobilization prevents the further cord injury. So we have to give the patient supine with neck immobilized. Next. A nurse is caring for a patient with chest tube drainage for pneumothorax. Suddenly the chest tube gets dislodged. What should the nurse do first? Option A. Call the physician immediately. Option B. Apply the petroleum gauze and cover the tissue. Option C. Clamp the chest tube. Option D. Leave the side as open to the air. Call the physician immediately. It's in the priority, but not the immediate priority. Apply the petroleum gauze and cover the side. This is the answer. Option B is the correct answer, because petroleum gauze and cover the side is the most important. Clamp the chest tube. No. If we clamp the chest tube, the air will passes through the chest tube, remaining the chest tube. Leave the side as open. If we are giving the open, this will be got infected and the oxygen level will be decreased. So we have to immediately apply petroleum jelly, petroleum gauze and cover the side. So option is correct option is option B. Next, a patient in septic shock has a mean arterial pressure of 55 of mmHg despite IV fluids. The nurse anticipates which order? Option A, start dopamine infusion. Option B, administer furosemide. Option C, give nitroglycerin. Option D, switch IV fluids to dextrose. The answer is option A, start dopamine infusion, because vasopressor are required to maintain the perfusion when fluids are insufficient. So we are giving the dopamine infusion. Next, a patient with hyperkalemia, potassium level 6.8 millicu per liter, develops tall peak T wave on ECG. The first drug the nurse prepares is sodium bicarbonate. Option B, calcium gluconate. Option C, insulin with glucose. Option D, furosemide. The answer is option B. We already know the potassium antidote is hyperpotassium antidote is hyperkalemia antidote is calcium gluconate. So we giving the patient to calcium gluconate. Option B is the correct answer. Next, a nurse is caring for a patient after thyroidectomy. The patient develops stridor and difficulty breathing. What is the priority intervention? Option A, administer oxygen. Option B, notify the surgeon. Option C, prepare for the tracheostomy. Option D, suction the airway. The answer is option C, prepare for the tracheostomy, because stridor indicates airway obstruction. The airway already indicate that it's obstruction from laryngeal spasm or the edema. So the answer is option C, prepare for the tracheostomy. Next, during labor, a patient receiving oxytocin develops uterine tachysystole greater than 5 contraction in 10 minutes. What is the immediate action? Option A, increase the IV fluids. Option B, stop the oxytocin infusion. Option C, give IV magnesium sulfate. Option D, place the patient in Trendelenburg position. The answer is option B, stop the oxytocin infusion, because oxytocin induce the hyperstimulation may causes the fetal distress. So at first we have to stop the oxytocin infusion. Next, a patient with diabetic ketoacidosis is on IV insulin infusion. The nurse observe potassium level is 2.8 millicu per liter. What is the priority intervention? Option A, continue insulin infusion. Option B, stop insulin and start potassium replacement. Option C, give IV calcium. Option D, restrict the IV fluids. So the answer is option B, stop insulin and start potassium replacement, because insulin worsens the hypokalemia, it's risking the arrhythmias. So we have to at first stop the insulin and start the potassium replacement. Next, a patient with stroke has right-sided weakness and dysphagia. What is the safest nursing action before the feeding? Option A. Place the patient supine with the chin up. Option B. Feed liquids with the straw. Option C. Check gag reflex and position upright. Option D. Offer mixed solid liquid food. The answer is option C. Check the gag reflex and position upright because prevent the aspiration pneumonia. So we have to check the first gag reflex, then position the upright. Next, a patient is scheduled for lumbar puncture. Which position should be nurse place the patient in? Option A. Supine with leg elevated. Option B. Prone with head tilt back. Option C. Lateral with knees drawn to the chest. Option D. Semi-fowlers with pillows. The answer is option C. Lateral with knees drawn. Because lateral with knees drawn to chest, it will help flexion widens the intervertebral space. In adult, we have to do the lumbar puncture is L3 to between L3 and L5. Next, a post-operative patient suddenly develops chest pain, dyspnea and tachycardia. The nurse suspects pulmonary embolism. What is the first action? Option A. Call a rapid response team. Option B. Start chest compression. Option C. Place patient in high fowlers and give oxygen. Option D. Administer heparin immediately. The answer is option C. Place the patient in high fowlers and give the oxygen immediately. It will help to the patient recovery because oxygenation is the first priority before the any anticoagulation. So the answer is option C. Next, a patient with SIADH has serum sodium of 120 MEq per liter. The nurse anticipates which order? Option A. Restrict fluids. Option B. Administer 0.45% saline. Option C. Give furosemide with the fluids. Option D. Increase the oral fluids. The answer is option A. Restrict the fluids because fluid restriction corrects dilution hyponatremia. Next, a trauma patient develops backslide hypotension, JVD, jugular vein distension, muffled heart sound. The nurse suspects option A. Tension pneumothorax. Option B. Cardiac tamponade. Option C. Pulmonary embolism. Option D. Acute MI. The answer is option B. Cardiac tamponade because backslide is a classical for the cardiac tamponade. Next, a nurse is caring for a patient with myasthenia gravis. The patient suddenly develops respiratory distress. Which drug should be kept ready? Option A. Atropine. Option B. Neostigmine. Option C. Diazepam. Option D. Epinephrine. The answer is option B. Neostigmine because in respiratory distress may indicate myasthenia gravis treated with the anticholinergic drug. So the answer is option B. Next, A patient with cirrhosis is at risk for the hepatic encephalopathy. Which dietary instruction is most appropriate? Option A, increase the protein intake. Option B, limit the carbohydrate intake. Option C, restrict protein intake. Option D, high fat diet. The answer is option C, restrict the protein intake, because excess protein increases the ammonia and worsens the encephalopathy. So the answer is option C, restrict the protein intake. Next, a patient receiving packed RBC transfusion develops fevers and chills after 50 minutes. What is the nurse's first action? Option A, stop the transfusion immediately. Option B, give antibiotics and continue. Option C, slow down the infusion. Option D, inform the lab after transfusion completion. The answer is option A, stop the transfusion immediately, because acute hemolytic reaction must be stopped at once. If any phlebitis occur also within 15 minutes, we have to stop the blood transfusion. So the answer is option A. Thank you everyone. Please like, share and subscribe our channel.